Hey, I'm Nicholas Prom,
I'm Chase.
And I'm Dylan.
and you're watching Posers Must
Posers must
Die.
die.
Yeah. Hey, so before we get into our usual content for this week, I wanted to bring attention to something going on in the Portland area. Something that's not great, but this is a PSA that I feel like that we need to address. There is a dangerous predator who has been lurking around the the Portland metal and hardcore scenes, and yeah, be on the lookout for this cat. He's a real slime ball, and 86 him wherever you can. Avoid as much as possible, and let people know who this guy is and what he's been up to. Not a good guy at all. So I'm just gonna let that run for a few, so anybody watching can read that, and then we'll carry on with the rest of our program. My notes. So, we've got some album reviews to talk about this week. I think we're going to start with. So, we've been kind of hitting some albums that came out like before we started the show, but that came out this year. And here is one of them Saxon, brand new record called Hell, Fire, and Damnation. Really cool. This is their first since guitarist Brian Tatler of Diamond Head has joined Saxon, and wow, what I mean, Saxon's been going strong for a long time, putting out really solid records, but to have Brian, a guitarist from another legendary new wave of British heavy metal band, join their ranks, that's a real shot in the arm. And this album is a banger, full of great songs. What do you guys think?
Biff still got it. That's what I have
Mm-hmm.
capital letters head of my notes there. That Biff still fucking sounds great.
Yeah,
Uh,
Biff Bifford is one of the best frontmen in rock/metal. I mean, he's great.
oh
Sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh no. And also I appreciate the level of what I call it metal cheddar, the cheese in the album. I love the Madame Guillotine. There's something in Roswell and the Pirates of the Airways. Like just milk that Holstein. I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah,
So I dig it. They got the good cheese. I guess is what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. Well, the what's the song? The pirate radio song. What's it called again?
Pirates of the Airwaves.
Pirates of the Airwaves. Right, and it's talking about like pirate radio and how they were picking up like you know there was a time when radio was like your only outlet to discover new music, and pirate
Yeah.
radio it's like non-commercial, not like they're playing stuff not on the playlist. You know what I mean? Like, and so it was really a
Yeah.
way to discover a lot of like new exciting stuff, and this kind of echoes a song that they had from one of their early albums, "Play It Loud." Like remember they have that lyric, listening to Deep Purple, reminiscing of old days,
Uh,
and like this is kind of like a spiritual sequel to that song, um, and yeah, this is full of a lot of really fun stuff. Uh, Love Saxon, love that they're still going strong all these years later. Dylan, what do you
we had to
think, man?
wait. We had to wait 9 whole tracks to get to the song about motorcycles. Though I thought that was kind of sad.
We'll forgive them. We'll forgive them. They have a lot.
Yeah.
They had a lot of hit a lot of subjects on this one. I like they had that song about uh, the uh, the Salem witch trials. Always a great subject
Oh
for heavy
yeah.
metal. But
Always.
yeah,
And that one just starts with a woman screaming for like 30 seconds or so.
right, right, yeah,
That's
um,
right. That's right.
yeah, well, I liked this album. It was pretty good. I'm not crazy ape shit about it. I tend to, with classic bands like Saxon, I tend to like their earlier stuff,
sure,
especially for. But they still got it. It's still good. And yeah, my personal, I really enjoyed the song Madame Guillotine. I
yeah,
threw that in my playlist. That was my favorite on here. And
nice,
but you guys said it best about everything else.
yeah. No, this is a really solid album, and uh, man, it's I'm like, I'm dying to see Saxon live. Dying, you know, and I know Chase is even more. He's probably the biggest Saxon fan of the three of us. Yeah, I'm like, please, we want to see Saxon. Come on, Vishnu. But yeah, it's a great record. Definitely, if you've slept on this one, give it a shot. Like any fan of new wave of British heavy metal is going to be able to have a lot to sink their teeth into with this one. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And last week, we'll move on to the next record. Last week, Massacre released their 5th full-length album. This is their 3rd since they reunited in, I want to say, like 2014 or so.
Yeah.
And man, I really like this. Massacre is just like their vibe is so just like it's the sweet spot for death metal with me, And I love that they have kind of a unique thing going on where lyrically they're really doing like this Lovecraftian horror stuff. Like that's their baby. And I just think, oh yes, what a neat theme to explore in this genre. It's so perfect.
I should have saved my Dead by Dawn sign off for this week, I guess, even though not quite the same. But there's that I forgot I didn't write down what the name of the song was, but that one that's clearly about Evil Dead.
Yeah, specifically Evil Dead 2. But yes,
things that were and shall be again.
I think that's right. Yeah. But this record was really cool. Cam Lee, also, man, anybody else think that he sort of sounds like his vocals sound like he has some water in his mouth? Like it's almost like Merman doing death metal vocals.
He has like a gurgle going.
Yeah. Yeah, but great vocals. And I'm still not sure if I'm going to be able to make the Massacre show that's coming right up, but we're trying. I just got to look and see where we're at with the funds. But there's a good chance I'll be able to swing it. But yeah, what do you guys think of this album overall? I thought it was cool.
Solid death metal. I mean, I'm glad that they reunited to pump this one out.
Yeah.
Insert my joke from last week about I look forward to the next one and they reunite when they're 80 or whatever.
Right, but they've had a pretty consistent release schedule since they've reunited, and 3 full lengths since the reunion, but also there's been EPs and some digital singles and stuff. There's so they're like really have been not slacking in the creative department, and I think that's great.
Then I rescind my semi-witty retort.
You recension accepted. If that's the right word I'm looking for, I don't know. But yeah, English, it's not for everyone.
Apparently.
Jesus. Dylan, I know you're a death metal maniac. What do you think about this album, man?
This is classic Massacre. This was really great. First, I have to say that fucking album art is very cool. I
so
like
good.
Shit like that.
Yeah, I really like that. I actually don't know who did the art on that. It's reminiscent of like a Dan Seagrave kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after listening to this, I was already interested in going and possibly seeing Massacre later this month, but I would really like to see them now. I'm wondering if I can swing that show because I'm very much interested in seeing them.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just I kept laughing during this album because we got 3 songs about 3 of my favorite horror movies. We got an Evil Dead song, first of all, put another tally on the board for metal songs about Evil Dead.
Right.
But it's fine. And then we got a Reanimator song.
Oh yeah.
I believe the tally now is 2 for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering if there was a song called Curse of the Resonator. Is that From Beyond, possibly?
Oh, hey.
Maybe. I mean, Massacre's first album is From Beyond, and there's the song. So, it could be like I wasn't paying that close attention to like song titles and stuff on this one.
Yeah.
So I think I missed that, but it is not outside the realm of possibility that it is also about that, or whatever. But yeah, cool stuff. And so they are playing on the 27th of this month at the Wonder Ballroom. So yeah, with Pessimist and local act Back from Death, who you will like, are opening as local support. So that should be really a lot of fun. But yeah, cool. Sounds like we all dug this. But yeah, I think we can go straight into Chase's classic album, which of course is. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, this week we got Slayer's "Haunting the Chapel." First off, fucking Slayer.
Correct.
Just getting that out of the way.
Slayer. Yeah.
Chemical Warfare was actually my first Slayer song.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
My I don't know if it was one of my cousin's friends or one of my uncle's friends or somebody, but it was a cassette in the dude's pickup, and he turned it on, and that opening riff just fucking like, what is that?
Yeah, right. Just quick little background. Quick little bit of background. So this is an EP from 1984, originally just a 3-tracker with Haunting the Chapel, Chemical Warfare, Capture of Sin, Haunting the Chapel, and then later repressings included their non-album song Aggressive Perfector, which appeared on Metal Massacre 3. This is from 1984, and this is just great. Just like, sometimes an EP can be just as important as a full-length album, and this is like essential. Like, it just rips. I mean, Capture of Sin is one of my favorite Slayer songs ever.
Fuck yeah, great.
I mean, and I love Aggressive Perfector, love Chemical Warfare. When the last time Chase and I saw Slayer, they closed with Aggressive Perfector, which was one of those, like, holy shit, I can't believe they dug that one out. Because it's a very deep cut for them, I interrupted you, Chase. Please pick up where you left off. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Actually, that was part of the notes there. Was it's a EP from 84 after Show No Mercy. It was like, after the the headbutt that was Show No Mercy, the knee to the dick afterwards would be this EP. Just real quick, sharp. Yo.
Yeah.
But it packs a punch for just these three. Well, not Chemical Warfare is like 5 minutes long, but they're like I said, it already packs a punch. It packs quite the wallop for just a quick little EP, but it's fucking Slayer. It's dense as hell. It beats you over the head.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This release is as strong as Show No Mercy or Hell Awaits. Which are full lengths. It kicks as much ass in 3 to 4 songs as those do at like 8 or 10, which is saying something. But yeah, absolutely essential. So great. Love Slayer, man.
Actually, since we were talking about live performances, they played Chemical Warfare at Tattoo the Earth, which we were both at.
That's right.
But yeah, they played it there, and I just remember I was there with my friend Bjorn, but he was 6'3". I jumped onto his shoulders, like almost like knees up to his head, almost like.
That's great.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I was sunburned to hell and back and everything, exhausted. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, so great.
Yeah. But we saw Slayer and Sepultura that day, and that was important.
That was great.
God, just to think, like, this summer, that will have been 25 years ago, Chase. This coming summer.
Right.
I know, right? But great time. I mean, like, I'm so glad I saw Slayer all the times I saw Slayer. About 13 times, I think. And yeah, so awesome. Dylan, how about some thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, if I had to have a top 5 favorite EPs of all time. I think this would be one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what the other ones would be. I would have to think about it, but I know this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And Chemical Warfare is my favorite Slayer song.
Oh, okay.
I fucking love that song so much. So I was like really excited when you picked this. I'm like, yes! And I just want to say about like Chemical Warfare specifically, that opening riff, like you were saying, Chase, is like it's fucking evil sounding. Like I can't imagine when this came out and people were playing it when this came out, like an old granny hearing this playing through somebody's fucking speakers in their car or something, like, oh great heavens, like that just sounded, that riff is straight out of hell.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that kind of raises an interesting question, like, ooh, what would our like top 5 EPs be of all time? I know the Queensryche EP is up there. That's such a great one. But yeah, I have to give that some thought. That might be a good special for us to do sometime. Great great EPs in metal history, you know. So that would be a fun special for us to do. Maybe let's save that for a notion for the future. So yeah, Slayer rules in conclusion. Dylan, we gotta go see that Kerry King band show. That's gonna be the closest you're gonna get to seeing Slayer. It's gonna be a fun time. Let's do it. Let's all do it.
Make that happen.
We will all do it, and we will all thrash. We will all circle pit. It'll be great. So how about we move on to Dylan's Demolition?
Yeah, this week my Dylan's Demolition is from a band called Disease. It's their 2017 demo.
Yeah.
And I saw these guys live a little while back. I'm not sure how long ago that was. I think it might have been like
month
August,
or so ago.
I don't know.
Yes, a couple months ago. Yeah.
But yeah, I saw them at the High Watermark. I met them. I met one of them. It's a duo. Just two guys. And I talked about them on the show.
Yes.
You know, one plays guitar, one plays drums, and they both do vocals. And this is like a mincecore, grindcore sort of mixture. It's you know, really, really heavy shit, and it's kind of something. All the songs are short, and you just listen to it all the way through. But I love this. I keep coming back to this. Disease are great. I got their shirt too.
Yeah.
And my last thing to say is this is what my brain has sounded like all week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
wow.
Take that as you will.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think of this one?
Well, I had a question. I have a hard time understanding what mincecore is.
It's just another offshoot of like grindcore and stuff like that. It's I think if I remember correctly what I read, mincecore is like it focuses on very simple riffs and repetitive like drumming.
Oh, okay.
And things like that. It's just this. Like
yeah.
I know this pretty much sounds like grindcore, but this is very mincecore, just very caveman-y sort of heavy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I like this. I thought this was really good. It reminded me of like the early Napalm Death, like Scum and From Enslavement to Obliteration, kind of crossed with Mortician.
Yeah.
I've seen Napalm Death, not that early iteration, obviously, because I'm not that old, but and I saw Mortician a couple times too, which was really cool. But yeah, definitely enjoyers of grind, especially the classic grind. I think will really dig this. This is cool stuff. What do you think, Chase?
Yeah, I always appreciate the high-pitched Barney Greenway-esque scream that grind core vocalists when they can do it. It's always nice. And the trash can-esque drum abuse, not like Saint Anger trash can, crash lid sounding snare or anything like that, but it sounded like a trash can involved sort of beating was going on there. A little SNL reference from the 90s there. I also picked up, yeah, it was kind of like Scum, but it also like gave me some Rotten Sound, Insect Warfare, even some Bathtub Shitter, a little bit in there towards the end, I guess, towards the entire thing. So we're in the back. Uh, and Extermination of Third Avenue Scum was my favorite track, all like 26 seconds of it. But but man, I don't want to know what inspired that track because I've been to the area they're talking about.
Oof.
Yeah.
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 Dylan, where is this band from? I actually forgot to look.
Seattle, Washington.
Oh, okay. So they're regional. There's a chance Chase and I could see them at some point in the future.
Yeah, they were great live.
I'll bet. I mean, you said you had an awesome time, so I mean, I'm sure they were cool. But yeah, so it sounds like we all liked it.
Okay.
Um, well, I think it's a perfectly good time to move on to Hardcore Hall of Fame. And what a Hall of Famer we got this week. From 1983, it's DRI's Dirty Rotten LP. 22 songs in about 18 minutes and change. And this is just full of classics. DRI rules. I also don't need society. But yeah, great stuff. I mean, raging thrash. I mean, like this is the band that like where crossover really happened. They even had an album, Crossover. Like I think it's their third album. But yeah, I love DRI. I've seen them 2 or 3 times. Unfortunately, they were just here and I had to miss them. But they're always coming around. Like there's always a chance to see a DRI like annually. So hopefully I'll see them again. And it's always a rager. I will cede the floor to you guys to give some of your thoughts on this tremendous release.
Well, you already said that this is actually I don't know. Did you say that? Anyway, influential. It's like you said. It's like this like crossover. Like the Crossroads a crossover. It meets here with DRI.
Yeah.
Paraphrasing. I can say that. But like, oh my god, listening to this one especially, I'm like, man, I bet Municipal Waste fucking loved this one.
Oh, of course. I mean,
yeah, I know. Oh, really?
I mean, like, shockaroo. Like, I'm sure, like DRI and Suicidal are like the top bands, for them. Dylan.
But yeah, no, it's a quintessential fucking crossover. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it, and if you have listened to it, listen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love DRI. They are great. I have never heard of this LP, but this was another great pick. Another one to push into the collection. I very much enjoyed it.
Good.
I don't have much to say besides that, but I hear how probably a lot of other bands have been influenced by this LP. A lot of it sounded familiar, even though I had not heard it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. And this is another band that was like active they started in Texas, right? And MDC were also a Texas band, and I was just like, man, can you imagine seeing those bands together?
Ooh.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah, some of that. But yeah, this is just an awesome album from an awesome band. Love DRI. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it's perfectly good time to segue into Song of the Week.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Nick.
Yeah, and my Song of the Week is Reckless, the closing track from Judas Priest's 1986 LP Turbo. And man, this song always gasses me up. It's such a banger. It is such a just like I feel like I could take on the world after I hear this song. It's so uplifting and kick-ass. It's great, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about Judas Priest. There's something just really life-affirming about them. It's like they're the Andrew WK of metal, like that guy's music has saved my life. And so I'll make that comparison here. But
that's apt.
Yeah,
Totally.
but also man, I will just be laying in bed and just be like, man, Priest rules. I'm not even joking.
No, I believe you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I love Judas Priest. I don't know if you guys knew that. But interesting little bit of background about this song. It was originally, they had the offer to have it on the Top Gun soundtrack. And they turned it down. It was a bad move because that soundtrack was one of the best, was a huge album, was a bestseller, and probably would have opened up, they could have probably exploded Maiden up into like the stratosphere, or excuse me, Priest up into the stratosphere like Maiden,
Yeah.
really kept, even though they were already an arena act. I think it would have helped them a lot. But they declined the offer because the deal stipulated that if they put it on the movie, had it in the movie, they couldn't put it on the album. So they really liked it. But also, Judas Priest have never performed this song live.
Really?
Really. And it's so awesome. I mean, like, I can imagine that it would be challenging to perform this one, but I mean, like, come on, you guys. But yeah, Reckless is such an incredible song, and I love it, and I love Judas Priest. What do you guys think of this track?
I think you fucking covered it. Well, Gas and Half. Gas is Yup. I always thought it was weird that it's at the end of the album because of how fucking hype it can get you. Like you're not the only one who feels that, dude.
Right. I mean, like it's a great album closer. It's good that an album closer is not like, it ends on such a high note, but it could have been a great album opener too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I actually think it's a better opener than a closer.
Yeah.
As long as it's in the album and not, exclusively on the Top Gun soundtrack, like I just horrifyingly heard that it could have been an alternate universe.
But here's the thing, like it would have been, put on a best of later or something like that, but being the album closer, if you're just album's ended and you're all gassed up from listening to Reckless, doesn't it not kind of make you want to like flip that tape back over and hit play again and listen to the album again?
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, you could.
So yeah, there's that.
Right.
Yeah, just to throwing that out there. But yeah.
I just want to say real quick, I guess because of the title of this song, it made me think of the Dio song "Breathless."
Ooh, interesting. Now I got to go back and listen to that. It's been a minute. It's been a while since I've heard that one.
Listen to the whole Last in Line album, dude. That thing's great from start to finish.
I mean, I love Last in Line. It's been a while since I've gone through the Dio catalog. I definitely need to do a revisit because I love Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, I think Reckless and Breathless would go great back to back, though. I think.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna do that as soon as we're off air.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You probably are. Yeah.
you guys know me. That is what I'm gonna do. Cool. So who's next? Who's got?
That'll be me.
Dylan.
My pick for this week is the song "Mean Streak" by.
Yeah. This song rules.
Yes. And,
dude, Y&T rocks.
I have two things to say about this. First, I present this song without context. But at the same time, I just wanted to tell a little story, the way I found this song.
Okay.
I think I was listening to that radio station, Ozzy's Boneyard, on Sirius XM one time.
Sure.
And the DJ told a story. He said, back before he was a DJ, he called into a radio station, or he was at a radio station that was playing heavy metal. And he asked for the song Mean Streets by, I forget who. Who's that by? I think Skid Row, maybe? I don't know. He asked for that song, and the DJ guy goes, "Yeah, I got you." And they play Mean Streak instead. And he's like, he had never heard the song, but now he loves it, and he plays it like every week or so.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm always happy when it comes on.
Yeah. Chase, were you just looking up who does Mean Street?
Yeah. Van Halen came up, but that's Mean Street.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe, I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. I know the Van Halen song, obviously, but yeah, dude, Y&T is rocking, dude, and I highly recommend this album, Mean Streak, and also the title cut and album Black Tiger. Like Y&T is rocking, dude.
Yeah.
Cool band. Just a great hard rock band. Great. Excellent choice, Dylan. Chase, do you know this song?
I do not.
Oh,
I would have
well,
to look that one up.
Listen to this and Black Tiger back to back when we're off air. Oh my God.
I just assumed you were talking to me a second ago because I was going to do that.
Okay, great. Because and like I'm like you're gonna be like, oh my God, I love Y&T now. That's what's gonna happen. Like I'm serious. That they just rock.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And pay attention to the lyrics of this song specifically.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Chase, what about your song, man?
My song is "Smoked Out."
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam off of Drift, which is, to note, a crazily underrated album, and I don't understand. I guess I kind of understand why. But no, but this song in particular, "Smoked Out," it is one that stood out to me because I was only, what's a good way to put it? Doomsday for the Deceiver was pretty much where my Flotsam and Jetsam knowledge started and ended.
Oh, okay.
Up until a little while ago, and then you were like, hey, we're gonna go see them, and I was like, shit, I gotta do some research. I gotta remember who the hell these guys are again. And I realized I was like, oh shit, I only listened to like the first like 2 or 3 albums, and then as I expanded outward, I was like, oh my god, I hope they play Smoked Out. When I got to Drift, I was like, I hope they play anything off of Drift, but Smoked Out, and they did.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah. What year did this album come out? Is it like 95?
95, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, not a great time for metal, but Flotsam and Jetsam, I give them so much credit. One, they are the sainted band of this program because they basically launched us. They launched our return to the scene. But I give them so much credit because when so many metal bands broke up in the 1990s, they kept going, and they kept putting out interesting material. They kept at it, and they have all these underrated records like Quattro and Drift and High especially. That's like those are albums that people should really give another chance to. But yeah, Flotsam and Jetsam is great. This is a cool song. Love them. Dylan, what do we think?
I've never really listened to much Flotsam and Jetsam, but I really need to listen to more now because this song fucking rules.
Yeah, I
fucking love this song. Great pick, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I would, Dylan. I would say start with Doomsday and just work your way through the albums, man. And there's a lot of really choice stuff there, and really, dare I say, adventurous. They're definitely they are. They never pose out or follow trend, but they're definitely not afraid to push into different territory or not stereotypical metal territory. And I think honestly, especially in the context of when those albums are coming out, it's so refreshing because maybe they're not appreciated for what they were doing at the time. But if you're a music fan, you have a broader palette that you draw from. It's like, oh man, there's really some really special stuff from Flotsam and Jetsam, especially in this decade.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get to it.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, excellent round of songs of the week. And then I guess we just got some upcoming shows to remind all our heavy metal pals about. Starting with King Diamond, Overkill, and Night Demon coming up this coming Sunday, November 24th at the Keller Auditorium. Chase and I will be there with bells on, kicking ass. This is going to be a righteous night of just heavy metal glory with the monarch of metal, King Diamond.
Fucking hail to the king.
Hail to the king.
Baby.
Yeah, baby. And then just a few days just a few days later, Massacre and Pessimist will be at the Bossa Nova Ballroom. That's going to be November 27th. I believe that's Wednesday. Should be a cool time. Should be a cool time. Hey, if their new album Necrolution has not whetted your appetite, go back and listen to From Beyond. And be like, oh yeah, this is such a classic band. Got to see them. Got to do it. So yeah. So there's that. Let's see. And then 2 days later, also the Bossa Nova Ballroom. Just honestly a lineup with too many bands. Okay, 6 bands is too much. Okay, that's just crazy. Okay, especially for an old guy, like no more than 4, please. But I Am Morbid, the best touring version of Morbid Angel that's out there right now, will be playing or headlining with Suffocation, Iwata, Fulci, and a couple other bands. Yes, and that is going to be at Bossa Nova Ballroom this Friday, November 29th, Black Friday. And that should be a fun time. Same night at the Twilight, there's a Testament and Megadeth tribute show, which should be a fun time. Debating on whether I might want to just go to this and just thrash and rage. That will not suck. I mean, like, you don't want to pass up a thrash show, right? Should be a good time. Especially, Chase and I had such a blast at Testament. It's like, oh man, and it's been a long time since I've seen Megadeth. I think it's like this show might just do me right, So I have a decision to make. Which show do I see? I Am Morbid and Suffocation, or do I go to this tribute show, which will probably be a lot cheaper too. But yeah. The very next night, our pals, I'll say friends of the show, Ravine, Doom metalers, are playing with a couple other. I think both of these bands are also Doom. Riastred and Cab Fighter. They're going to be at the Hawthorne Hideaway. It's only $10 on a Saturday night. Hawthorne Hideaway is a cool room. Chase and I have been there. We saw Manthus and Atomic Terror there. That was cool. And I might have to hit this. I would like to see Ravine again. Justin's a cool guy. He's been a great friend of the show. And that's a cool time. That's a cool time you could have. And then of course coming up December 4th, coming up in just a couple weeks, Chase and I are going to see Exodus, Havoc, and Dead Meat. Is it Dead Meat or Dead Heat? I can never remember. But whatever they are called, it's a bunch of thrash. It's going to be at the Hawthorne Theater. It's going to be a kick-ass time with the mighty Exodus and the nearly equally mighty Havoc. Man, they are rad too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and Dead Heat is a cool up-and-coming thrash band. This is going to be killer night. We're going to rage, dude. It's going to be awesome.
Next we'll be wrecked.
Yeah. Yes. And then, of course, December 12th at the High Water Mark. It's going to be a big night of thrash with Atomic Terror, Battle Cattle, Versipal, and Violent Insurrection. High Water Mark is our favorite spot, and this is going to be a night of the Christmas Circle Pit, because this one's gonna be a rager. So we're gonna have a good time for that. And then I'm sure some other things are gonna pop up in between, but also at the High Water Mark is on December 13th, Oxygen Destroyer with Contusion. Oh, you don't have the updated flyer. Contusion and now Casket Flesh are on the bill. But rather than Hemorrhoid. No, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We'll post the updated flyer next week. It's not the end of the world. Few things are. But yeah, so wow, bunch of cool shit on the calendar. Heavy metal is alive and well in Portland, Oregon. And so are we. Yeah. Chase, why don't you hit us with the sign off, baby?
If you insist.
I do.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Also, remember, dear viewer, you have the power. Stand up and shout.
dun, 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 dun. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a dope ass night. Goodbye.